Hi, you are watching 2hp.com. My name is Ralph, and today in sunny Lisbon, we'll take a ride in absolutely new Mercedes E-Klass. A car looks elegant, emotional, and even aggressive. It's obvious that Germans have resolved all the errors and now are ready to fight with all the competitors. Each style has own rules. The same is about the car design. All the general E-Klass rules were mostly revoked when we look at its 10th generation. In my opinion, the main difference between E-Klass and S-Klass is the size. And yeah, you are right if you think that designers have just refreshed its flagship model. Nest doll style. Possibly yes, but if we look at the main competitors, they call it like a corporate identity. The main point is to distinguish where is BMW and where is Mercedes quickly. And the best result is to be filled with admiration for watching it. Concerning the new W213 car body, comparing to the previous versions, an extra 65 mm is added to the wheelbase, and a cockpit is 43 mm longer. The engineers have announced that passengers will definitely feel more flail space in the new version. About the design, in our test you'll see almost all types and versions, from basic to exclusive, avant-garde and AMG line. I guess you remember, I wasn't fully satisfied while testing the Mercedes GLS, because it was equipped with traditional analog indicators. Meanwhile, competitors already had huge digital panel. And finally, Mercedes follows the voice of people, and as a result we have two big color displays. Frankly speaking, I'm impressed by its size, as 15 years ago you could see it only in the cinema, and now you have it directly in your car. By the way, there is a great deal of cameras here, I guess even more than our production studio owns. Which is not so small at all. Even going ahead, you'll be assisted with a front camera for escaping the trash can crash on your way. Moreover, if you would like to customize your car, there is no need to be in touch with customizing centers. You can do everything by yourself. Just enter the system and change the display settings. Do you want sport design? Press a button and get it. Font of classic or progressive? Again, press a button and you'll receive absolutely new design of instrument panel. Each display is 12.3 inches, and it seems like several design studios were creating its interface graphics. It's worth to mention that there is no flex. Never. By the way, when I was making this test, our subscribers have started to ask questions like, is it possible to upload and use a personal settings for the instrument panel in the new E-Klass? And the answer is no, you can't do it. And the reason is simple. Mercedes can't and actually doesn't want to be responsible for programs which can once break all the system. The second popular question is, can driver get tired of this computer graphics, and isn't it be better to stay with the previous version with analog indicators? Well, with such a great number of subsystems, the E-Klass interior will look like a Boeing cockpit. Referring to nostalgia for well-known and traditional tachometer and speed sensor, let's miss it at first. Moreover, let's don't forget that the first mass production of personal tabs started in 2002, and already for 14 years nobody is insisting to come back to an Abacus or Olivetti vintage printing machine. I know for sure that many of you appreciate when the car has a lot of buttons. The concept of a new E-Klass is different. A great deal of digital assistants are simple and laconically managed. It can be voice control, or controller and a panel on the console between a driver and a passenger. And the third managing way, world's first, is the touch control buttons on the steering wheel, which allow you to use almost all functions without taking your hands off the wheel. And it's not a crime anymore. But I'll tell you why a little bit later. As I expected, it's roomy and comfortable at the back seat. Moreover, you can use a climate control here. I'm more than sure that more expensive vehicle grades have displays, masseurs and whatever you want, of course if you have money enough. The seats look nice and comfortable all over the trip. Now E-Klass owners can also use an option of an armrest heater on doors and console, which is dividing a driver and front passenger seats. Also, look at this leather interior of E-Klass. It's comfortable and looks great at the same time. I would rather say sophisticated. If you ask me which interior I prefer from all that variety without any estimation, I'll choose yacht style, which is the most elegant. Leather, wood and metal are in harmony here. And remember that now E-Klass suggests you 64 different colors lighting system. And here is a folding key. Well, I already imagine your disappointed faces and saying like, come on, BMW key has buttons and display. And your argument is quite a good sign as you compare E-Klass to BMW 7 Series, which is definitely a flagship. Remember, if you stare inside the E-Klass boot, then one day it will start to stare at you. Already as a tradition, Mercedes guarantees a perfect running smoothness, thanks to adjustable suspension, engine by itself and 9-speed automatic transmission gearbox. Concerning the engine, it's V6 and 3 liters capacity. And torsion torque is 620 Newton-meters. It does 60 miles an hour in 6 seconds. The fuel consumption is 6 liters. So welcome modern technologies, or even its quintessence. Owing to numerous settings, you can adjust your car whenever you want. A special setting for a highway, another settings for a rural road, which is twisting like a mother-in-law tongue. Without any doubt, such options will help to go in comfort and fast. Some comments of dynamics. With such an acceleration, the main and start is to keep your arms on the steering wheel and not to forget to fasten your seatbelt as the car starts as a cannon shot. Sound insulation is so good that when I stop talking, do you hear it? It's a cry of a tiny peculator somewhere in Tumen, who just doesn't have money enough now for buying this car. At least, I hope so. So, what else have we tried except 3 liters turbo diesel E-Klass AMG line? Well, let's start with the version E213D, equipped with a 4-cylinder turbo engine. Its engine power is 195 horsepower, 400 Newton-meters of torque. It does 60 miles an hour in 7.3 seconds and announced fuel consumption is 3.9 liters. Nevertheless, my best result is 5 liters. This engine, accompanied with an original 9-speed transmission, is enough for a dynamic acceleration and a confident driving all way long. But of course, it's less powerful than a V6 engine, and its task is also different – to satisfy the basic needs. Further comes E350e. This is a plug-in hybrid, Everything suits the hybrid classics here. 2 liters petrol engine, electric motor and a battery. The icing on the cake is 60 miles an hour in 6.2 seconds, and the fuel consumption is like the mini car, 2.1 liters. Of course, it's possible due to the fact that by the electric haulage, this car can pass 30 kilometers. Yes, it's obvious that we couldn't ignore E404 Matic version, equipped with 3-liter twin-turbo engine, 333 horsepower, 60 miles an hour in 5.3 seconds. And the miracle is not a few seconds, but a way how this steady and smooth sedan transforms into a quite aggressive, fast and powerful Raptor by using its 4-wheel drive engine, air suspension and gearbox with special options. So, it's like you own several cars all in one, which are a real harmony. I have the only one but important remark and a small wish concerning this E-klass. And the remark is that only a shower puff is missing for the complete car grade to sponge all the luxury liquor, which is covering all the car inside and out. And the wish is, guys, I don't want to know the price of this E-klass grade, it's enough for me to be aware of the start price, 58,000 euros. Right now, right here on the estuarial track, Mercedes will try to show me that in 1-2 years I'm gonna lose my job as an automobile journalist, because all of these cars are able to drive by themselves without the driver control. I mean, when robots have filled in for traffic constables, engine fixers and cosmonauts, I was silent. And now, when the intelligent drive system is trying to take the steering wheel from me, instead of contradiction, it's better to accept the fact that the new E-klass is equipped with a great deal of cameras, radars, ultrasound detectors and powerful processors. As a result, it's able not only to brake the vehicle when detecting the pedestrian or keep the distance in the road traffic. Now, via Drive Pilot, a car is able to go on a highway or at the rural roads and even overtake if you press the turn signal 2 seconds long. It will find its way even in the absence of clearly visible lane markings. Also, it's able to warn other Mercedes cars concerning for the traffic conditions. Now E-klass goes via Drive Pilot and all its electronics have only 1 second to detect the accidents, and now it works, as you can see. In the previous act of this tragedy, I was at the wheel by myself and must confirm the electronics is faster than human reaction. Of course, I asked the question, why the company put the real man on the zebra crossing, but the accident situation is created with a pneumatic car. The reason is not that a real pedestrian is cheaper, but an RC car perfectly mimics the cross-cut. Moreover, if you got drunk, and sometimes it might happen, for acting in the law, you can park your car via special application in your smartphone. The advantages are, you won't break the law and won't crash your car, as in 90% of such cases, this car is more clever than you, and me, and all together. Also, an interesting fact is that Mercedes works with electronics and the same time with human reflexes. And the last new option is pre-safe sound. In a moment when indicators and cameras are detecting the accident situation, a short interference signal is issued automatically through the sound system. Which activates natural biomechanical hearing machine. This sound instantly provokes traction in the occupant's middle ear. I mean, you'll definitely hear this sound. Nevertheless, Mercedes still call all this system as assistant and Drive Pilot as semi-automatic. In terms of judicial field, it means that in spite of all the electronic assistance, only a driver is responsible for a safety traffic. But of course, such electronics give a new safety level. So what's the main value of a new Mercedes E-klass? I think exactly this generation provides visual imagery of the luxury car. And it's not a nameplate on the cowl, not a first-century history or extra price, but a perfect set of performance characteristics, design, functionality and innovation, materials quality and build quality. Nothing more nor less. You were watching 2hp.com and riding with us in absolutely new E-Klass, and soon it will appear in Ukraine.